Hi, my name is Scott Cummings. I've been playing drums since I was 16 years old. It started in grade school. I was on in a different teacher's class, and Miss McKnight, I remember the moment, and I was just banging on everything like I typically would, and she, from the front of the class, yelled to me in the back and said, "Hey, drummer boy, knock it off." And that was the moment that I knew what to call what I did. So I always had this urge to play the drums and be banging on things and make rhythms and stuff like that. And that was the moment she kind of like almost knighted me, as a drummer. From there, it was kind of dormant for a while because I was a shy kid and I didn't know how to ask for what I wanted. But the moment came when I was 16. My grandma, she had bought my cousin a violin and she spent $500 on this violin for her. So I had the same offer. If I wanted to get an instrument, she would pay for the first $500. I ended up spending $1,200 buying this gigantic drum set, and it lived upstairs with us, and I got to play it all day long. So that was fantastic. From there, I went to Chico State and got my bachelor's in music there, and took a little break, worked for a music camp for a minute, and then I went to Cal Arts where I got my master's degree, and I've been teaching for a long time, probably about 10 years, coming out of school and during school. And then after that, I started a entertainment company that went for 13 years. I was still playing a little bit during that time, but mostly was not teaching. And then COVID hit, and it kind of decimated the entertainment business that I had. We were doing events, so all that got shut down. And then when it came back great. It was booming, but I realized I had a change of heart, and I was happiest when I was teaching. So that's what I do. What I do, and I think the reason why I'm a fantastic teacher is because I started so late. Most of the kids that I went to school with at Cal Arts or any of the other music schools, they started when they were 3, 4, 5 years old with private lessons. I started really late, so I had to figure out a ways to teach myself in order to keep up with them, and nothing came naturally for me. I had to really focus and study and really dig deep into the details, which makes it easier for me as someone that struggled to get finally get my master's degree. I had to dig deeper into that and struggle with it so that it gave me the tools and the chops to be able to translate that to someone else and be able to be a better teacher, right? So some people are great performers. Myself, I consider myself a teacher, and that's what I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy seeing the kids win and grow and develop. That's my favorite thing to do. My ideal students is typically someone who's in middle school, grade school or middle school, and wants to just get started on the drums. A lot of times I would have students come to me and they'd already been playing for a little bit, and we would actually end up going backwards and reworking and kind of undoing some of the things that they'd been struggling with, right? So if they had a teacher that didn't teach them the right way, we would work and plug all the holes, and then move forward, so they could become successful going on to, music schools and college. So the reason I created a Brilliant Academy of Music, also known as BAM, is because I just wanted a place where I could have full control over what is being taught in the music. And I love working with kids, and I want to support them, and I have a greater vision for what we can do with the music, right? There's a lot of things that are taught in school, and a lot of things that aren't taught in school. So I think there's values and things we can instill in them in terms of like focus, persistence, healthy habits around their practice, and then keeping them off screens and things like this, where they're getting it to play an instrument and create a healthy habit rather than just being stuck on an iPad or on YouTube, where they can get a lot of influence that is completely out of control of the parents, right? If we know what music they're studying and they're learning, we know that they're on a healthy path and they're doing something that's positive and it's going to impact them in a positive way. There's two ways that we work. One is with inside of school systems, so that can be it can be a private school, it can be a Montessori school, a preschool, this type of thing, and then also public schools in the after school care, where we're doing like group classes. And the other thing we do is we work privately with students one on one. So it could be a private lesson, either guitar, piano, bass, drums, vocals, this type of thing. What we're looking for when we work with a student is a lot of the students are not going to go on to be professional musicians. That's not really the point. The point is that they get to have this experience and they become a more well-rounded person, and they also learn things like determination, focus, grit, goal setting, all these types of values that you want to instill with your kids. You can get them in some other places, but things like sports are not for every kid, right? So if music is a vehicle that we can instill those things into them, that's going to make them more productive and more successful in school and in life later on, that's what we're here for. I definitely get excited when I see people win. That's what makes me most enjoy what I do. When the kids are successful and when that thing clicks, that's what makes me most excited about what I do. The one word that I would say describes me the most is comfortable. So, and not in terms of being comfortable and getting lazy, but in terms of like I'm really good at taking a student that's uncomfortable and making them feel at home and in their place, and getting them to do what we set out to do, whether they had nerves or they felt out of place or didn't think they could do it. I'm really good at pushing them to be their best and do what they didn't think they could do. When you work with us at Brilliant Academy of Music, you're going to get a couple things. You're going to get a plan for the student to progress. We're going to set goals with them, and we're going to get them to perform, right? So we want to instill a couple things into them. We want focus, we want confidence, and we want a level of grit and determination that they didn't have before. So those are the things you can expect to see from the student as they progress and they get more confident and more comfortable with what they're working on in terms of their instrument. So for more information, you can hit us up on our website, which is bam.band, BAM.BAND, or text me directly at 949-456-5802. My name is Scott Cummings, and I'm the president of Brilliant Academy of Music.